Wrestling legend Hulk Hogan has died. His manager told NBC Los Angeles.
The world was still coming to terms with Hulk Hogan's sudden passing when shocking new developments emerged that have sent ripples through both the wrestling community and beyond. What was initially ruled a natural death is now under fresh scrutiny after an unexpected discovery by the FBI. For years, fans and critics alike have wrestled with the complicated legacy of Terry Bollea, the man behind the iconic persona. But this new revelation threatens to change everything we thought we knew about his final moments. Suddenly, questions once thought settled are reopening, stirring a mix of disbelief, concern, and curiosity. As more details come to light, the story of Hulk Hogan's death is transforming into something far more complex and mysterious than anyone could have imagined. Early morning tragedy in Clearwater. On a warm summer morning in Clearwater, Florida, July 24, 2025, life moved at its usual peaceful rhythm. The sun had just begun to climb above the horizon, bathing the quiet streets in soft golden light. Birds chirped gently, neighbors exchanged their routine morning greetings, and children prepared for their day ahead. It was a day like many others in the serene Gulf Coast community where Terry Bollea, known to the world as Hulk Hogan, had called home for years. But beneath this calm and familiar scene, an urgent crisis was unfolding. At precisely 9:51 a.m., emergency responders received a distressing call from a residence on El Dorado Avenue. A medical emergency was underway, and it was quickly clear this was no ordinary day. The man who had long been seen as nearly indestructible in the wrestling ring was fighting a battle far beyond the spotlight. When paramedics arrived, they found Hogan struggling with a serious health crisis. The iconic figure, whose image had always been of strength and invincibility, was now the patient, fragile and vulnerable. The emergency technicians wasted no time. They launched into life-saving measures, performing CPR and other critical interventions with urgency and determination. For roughly 30 tense minutes, they worked tirelessly to revive him before rushing him to Morton Plant Hospital. A closer look at the medical emergency. The official statement from the Clearwater Police Department described the incident as a sudden medical emergency, with no evidence of foul play or suspicious activity. At face value, it seemed a tragic but straightforward event, a natural death. Yet, questions quickly surfaced. Hogan's health had long been a subject of concern for fans and insiders alike. The legendary wrestler had been open about his struggles with chronic pain and the relentless wear and tear that decades of physical combat had inflicted on his body. He had once admitted candidly, "I was on pain pills." Doctors were writing prescription after prescription. It became a vicious cycle. His openness about battling addiction to pain medication added a complex layer to understanding the circumstances of his passing. Could this truly have been a natural death? Or did the heavy burden of medication, the after-effects of countless surgeries, and underlying heart issues contribute to the final, tragic moment? These were questions that wouldn't be easily answered, and they cast a shadow over the initial reports. Wrestling's immortal champion. To understand the weight of this loss, one must understand the man behind the persona. Hulk Hogan was not merely a wrestler. He was a cultural phenomenon who helped transform professional wrestling from a niche sport into a worldwide spectacle. With his unmistakable handlebar mustache, golden tan, and booming voice, Hogan's charisma was magnetic. His signature catchphrase, "What you gonna do when Hulkamania runs wild on you?" echoed through arenas and living rooms across the globe. In the 1980s, Hogan became the face of the WWE, then WWF, carrying the company to new heights with his electrifying performances and heroic storylines. His legendary matches against icons like Andre the Giant and Randy Macho Man Savage became part of wrestling folklore. His appeal transcended sports entertainment, making him a household name recognized by generations worldwide. Vince McMahon, the visionary CEO who propelled Hogan to superstardom, summed up his impact succinctly upon hearing the news. "The world lost a treasure today. Hulk Hogan was the greatest WWE superstar of all time." Those words echoed the sentiments of millions, mourning the loss of a man whose larger-than-life persona had touched countless lives. The wrestling community's heartbreak. The news of Hogan's death plunged the wrestling world into a profound state of mourning. For many, it felt like losing a family member. Fellow wrestlers, both friends and rivals, struggled to find the words to express their grief. Ric Flair, Hogan's longtime friend and occasional rival, was overcome with emotion during a live interview. Breaking down in tears, he revealed the deep bond they shared behind the scenes. "People always wanted to paint us as enemies," Flair said, his voice trembling. "But we were very close friends. We kept up with each other regularly. I just talked to him yesterday. He was fine. This is horrible." His raw emotion captured the shock and sorrow that rippled through the wrestling community. Beyond the ring, Hogan had become a cultural icon, a symbol of American strength and determination. His famous advice to children to train hard, say your prayers, and eat your vitamins was a mantra that inspired generations. Even political figures took notice. President Donald Trump, a longtime friend of Hogan's, publicly expressed his sorrow, acknowledging the profound impact Hogan had made on so many lives. Health battles. Behind the spotlight, beneath the glitz, glamour, and larger-than-life personality, Hogan was a man grappling with a body ravaged by decades of intense physical punishment. Professional wrestling, with its relentless schedule and brutal matches, leaves few athletes unscathed, and Hogan was no exception. Over the past decade alone, Hogan underwent more than 25 surgeries, procedures to repair the damage done to his back, knees, hips, and shoulders. His body was a patchwork of metal plates, screws, and prosthetics, a testament to the physical toll exacted by his career. In candid interviews, Hogan revealed the harsh reality behind the scenes. "I've had 17 surgeries in the last 10 years, he shared openly. "My knees are fake, my hips are fake, my back is full of metal, and parts of my face have metal in them." This admission laid bare the hidden cost of a life spent entertaining millions. It was a story not just about glory and fame, but about pain, endurance, and the difficult realities of aging as a professional athlete. The image of Hulk Hogan as an indomitable force in the ring was tempered by the undeniable truth that even legends are vulnerable. The hidden struggles and family tensions. Behind the larger-than-life persona that Hulk Hogan projected to millions, the final months of Terry Bollea's life were marked by quiet struggles and complex family dynamics few outside his inner circle truly understood. In May 2025, Hogan underwent a major neck surgery, technically known as a 4-level anterior cervical discectomy and fusion. It was one of many grueling procedures aimed at repairing decades of physical damage from his punishing wrestling career. The surgery was serious, and the recovery was expected to be long and difficult. As news of his condition leaked, rumors began swirling, some fueled by old acquaintances and outspoken figures like radio host Bubba the Love Sponge, who went as far as to claim Hogan was on his deathbed. These claims were met with firm denials from Hogan's wife, Sky Daly, whom he had married just 2 years earlier in 2023. Sky was vocal in reassuring fans, emphasizing that while Hogan was recovering, his heart remained strong. But close sources painted a more sobering picture. In private, Hogan had been experiencing serious health problems leading up to his death. He struggled with shortness of breath and heart weakness, symptoms that suggested a body worn down by years of physical strain and medical complications. For a man known for his invincibility in the ring, this vulnerability was a stark reminder of his humanity. A controversial life. Outside the ring, Hogan's life was not without controversy, and his public image was a complicated mix of triumphs and scandals. One of the darkest chapters came nearly 2 decades earlier, in 2007, when a private sex tape leaked, exposing Hogan making racist remarks. The scandal rocked the wrestling world and beyond, leading to a legal battle against Gawker Media that resulted in a landmark $140 million judgment in Hogan's favor. Though victorious in court, the aftermath of the scandal cost Hogan dearly. He was temporarily banned from WWE, and the damage to his public image was severe and lasting. The fallout strained relationships, cost him friendships, and derailed parts of his career. His legacy, once almost untouchable, became tarnished by the incident and its repercussions. His family life was similarly fraught. The relationship with his daughter Brooke had long been strained, complicated by the effects of his divorce and the shadow of ongoing public controversies. Yet, despite years of tension, Brooke showed a remarkable loyalty during Hogan's final days, standing by him as the family navigated their complicated history. Public life in the final years. Even as his health declined and family challenges mounted, Hogan remained determined to stay in the public eye. In 2024, he launched a new venture, Real American Beer, showing that his entrepreneurial spirit was still alive. That same year, he made headlines with a fiery speech at the Republican National Convention, publicly supporting Donald Trump with his characteristic boldness. Yet, the world's reception to Hogan was no longer as uniformly adoring as it once was. His final wrestling-related appearance came in January 2025 on WWE Raw's debut on Netflix, a moment met with a notably hostile crowd reaction. The jeers served as a stark reminder of how his public image had become complicated by years of controversy and personal struggles. Despite this, Hogan continued to embody the energy and showmanship that had made him famous, even as his health visibly waned. It was a testament to his resilience and his desire to maintain the identity he had crafted over decades. A legacy of triumph and tragedy. Hulk Hogan's death on July 24, 2025, marked more than the passing of a celebrity. It was the closing of a chapter in American popular culture. His life was a story woven with the threads of both adoration and criticism, triumph and scandal. The coincidence of his death occurring exactly 10 years after his 2007 scandal broke added a layer of poignant irony, underscoring the complicated nature of his legacy. Social media was awash with sharply divided reactions. Some fans posted heartfelt tributes, celebrating the man who had inspired them to train hard and believe in themselves. Others, however, were less forgiving, condemning Hogan for his past racist remarks and the controversies that never quite left him. Within the wrestling community, emotions were just as conflicted. While many wrestlers, friends, and colleagues expressed deep sorrow and respect, others wrestled with the complexities of Hogan's life. The good intertwined with the bad. Remembering a fallen hero. In the end, Terry Bollea's life and death serve as a reminder that even the strongest heroes are human, flawed, vulnerable, and complicated. Behind the spectacle of Hulkamania was a man grappling with chronic pain, personal demons, and fractured relationships. His influence on wrestling and popular culture is undeniable. Hogan was a pioneer who brought professional wrestling into the mainstream and inspired countless fans around the world. But his legacy is far from simple. It's a tapestry of charisma and controversy, of inspiration and heartbreak.